Yes, I have voter's card. I think it's among the things that should have been here, but that's okay. Yes. Sorry? Yes, yes, they did say so.
Well, Honorable, I'm pleased to hand this over receipt for the documents you received. Of course, they are subject to a public scrutiny on Saturday. And make sure that also your voters card begin before Friday. Okay? Thank you, good luck, and God bless.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, all of you. Thank you all. No.
Chairman Ali Umar Njai and his team. Now, in a moment, we'll hand you over to our reporter, who is among of journalists are waiting quite eagerly to have a word with my Ahmed Fati.
Honorable Sir, you've just completed nomination papers there. You've submitted everything. Talk to us. What made you believe that you're fit to be the next president of the Gambia?
Ladies and gentlemen, every Gambian ought to be proud today. Every Gambian ought to be proud today. What we fought for 22 years, all Gambians are beneficiaries. We are all sharing the dividend of the democracy that we fought for. So today, every Gambian is a winner. There is no loser. Our sovereignty will get stronger. We will emerge more victorious, more united, more determined to lift our people out of poverty, more determined to put an end to the kind along the Sahara Desert and in the Mediterranean Sea, more determined to inject hope and a spirit of vivacity in our young people, hundreds of thousands of whom the future of this country depends on. This election is not about crowd. This election is about wealth. It is not about fame. It is about you, the ordinary Gambians. It is about your health. It is about your education. It is about your security. It is about our stomach. This election is about energy security. This election is a contest of ideas and not a contest of crowd, as important as that may be. Crowd is not going to govern this country. It is intellect. It is policy. It is raw gut to put an end to the cascading crime rate in this country, to ensure our law enforcement agencies have what it takes to protect our people, so that Gambia's development trajectory will be expedited. There are too many deaths, too many robberies, too many attacks. Our law enforcement, from immigration to the police force, to the national. I'm sending your man is back, and I will make sure you have what it deserves to protect our people in the streets, in the markets, our children on the way to school, in our homes, against criminals. This is the beginning of the end of the fight against hunger in this country. This is the beginning of the end against the fight against lack of water in this country. This is the beginning of the end of medical tourism in the Senegal and elsewhere in this country. This is the beginning of redeeming our sovereignty so that the Gambia will once again become the beacon of hope in West Africa and around the world. This is the beginning of real reforms, of real civil service reform, of real security sector reform, of real changes in our laws that will benefit, that befit the Gambian people.
Honorable, recently signed a coalition agreement. Could you talk to us about that coalition?
What is important today is the renewal of our hope and the promise of our country. Yes, we signed 11 political parties started discussions. At the end, it ended with one. It took 9 grueling weeks, 9 weeks to reach a consensus. We have some form of memorandum of understanding, but the time is too tight for us to proceed with selecting a flag bearer, pursuant to the implementation of the MOU. So therefore, the talks will continue. the talks will go on. And our doors remain open with regards to that. That is my answer as regards to that.
Honorable, should in case you win the December 4th elections.
Well, what I understand is that today I am nominated as the candidate for the Gambia Moral Congress for the election of President of the Gambia 2021.
Mr. Fati, what will happen to this, the memorandum you signed?
What is important to me today is how do we lift our people out of poverty? How do we restore hope to the thousands of young people who have no jobs? That is the issue. How do we take our country so that we will have as a source of joy delivering children and babies instead of dying? We empower our women so that they will be equal to men in all domains. This is what is important to me. What is important to me is how do we have quality education, accessible education? How do we bridge the digital divide between the provinces and the urban areas? That is what is important to me. Today is not a day of polemics. I am running away from controversy. I'm focusing on the bread and butter issues of the country. I know you journalists like to dig into districts. What is important to me today is the suffering of our people. If you want to talk about that, we can talk about it. If you want to talk about polemics, I'm sorry.
And what are you
papers before the Independent Electoral Commission. Now, but understanding again, ladies and gentlemen, my Ahmed Fati has mentioned that today he has been nominated as a candidate for the December 4th presidential election. But we do understand what happened here today is just a presentation of nomination papers, and that whether he is eligible to run for president or not will be known on Saturday. That is after the whole nomination process is done and dusted. We hand you over to our reporter, Umi Njai, who has been on the sidelines covering the nomination process. What has been happening, Umi?
Right, we've just witnessed the nomination of the leader of GMC, of course, Gambia Moral Congress, who is no other person than my party. He has just successfully submitted his documents to the IEC officials, and then his nomination papers were all accepted. And shortly after his nominations, we had a short interview with him, of course, where he discussed with waiting journalists his priorities should in case he win the December 4th presidential elections. And during the interview, of course, he made mention of the priorities, his key priority areas, of course, ranging from education, ranging from, security sector reforms, and so on. So basically, we had a very short interview, and then this is something that he placed at top on his priorities should in case he win December 4th elections. He's like, he want to bridge, the gap between, the people in the Gambia. And then, of course, looking at the amount of deaths that are happening in the country at this very point in time, this is what he was talking about, that when he becomes the president, come December 4th, should in case he win the presidential elections, this is what he's going to put on top of his agenda. He will make sure that, all these things will not happen in the Gambia. And then, of course, he will bolster the security of this country. These were part of the things that he made mention during the interview. And then secondly, he also said that all what he wants is peace and tranquility in the country. He doesn't want anything like chaos in the country. So these were part of the very top things that he talked about when we just interviewed him shortly after his nominations, Fatu.
Thank you very much, Umi, for that brilliant update. Now, just to remind our listeners that this is Nominations Watch, and we're broadcasting live from the Independent Electoral Commission. And my Ahmed Fati and his delegation, they have just left the complex of the IEC. Ablay Cham, ñu leeral foofu tuuti.
Jërëjëf soxna Fatmata Cham, wax nga dëgg bi mooy mujjee ci bés bi may Ahmed Fati. Dégg nga lim wax li nga xam ne moo nekk énaam ëllëg su gagné wane na li nga xam ne mooy mbiri tefaar yi am si réew mi ñu wàññi ko bokk loolu nag soo ko gisee rek mooy dooleel ñi nga xam ne ñoo amee bunti kaaraange ga ak wàlli luwaa bi di policier ak ñi takk der yi daal waaw bu ko defee rek mu dolli ñëwaat ci benn leen nit ñi waaye dégg nañ ci waxam mi tamit moom jamono bi nekku di wax lu jëm ci wàlli politique mu ngi wax ci mbiri li nga xam ne mooy jëmale réew mi kanam waaye démba am na laajte boo xam ne ni jaaxaloon nañu fi nit ki ñëw wane fi ay kayiti nomination am ne man duuma politicien waaye bëgg naa toog si si politique la loolu dana nekk loo xam ne ni lu doy war la daaw démb ba léegi politiciens yu bëri ñi nominations ñi indi seen nominations ñoom ñëpp loolu lañ dee wax dañoo ñëw ne man nekkuma politicien waaye toogu ba bëgg naa cee toog bëgg naa ñu sànnil ma te togu politique la political lini la
ba pare sax may dafa am benn point bu fi dafa joxe kayitam bi pare rek mu génn si ne lu gën a am solo mooy man tey nominate nañ ma taxaw pour nekk président December loolu kàddu boobu noonu taxaw parce que ñun ñu woon ñu leeralal from IEC mooy ne lu fi xew tey fii ba aljuma mooy dangaa indi sa kayit yi nga jox ko waa IEC ñu scrutinize la kenn amagut right pour wax ne moom war naa mun a taxaw pour nekk président
nomination bi du bés boo xam ne da ngaa ñëw rek ñu nominé la kon ni ñu ko waxee woon rek ñu ko daan leeralal askan wi tey da ngaa ñëw indi sa kayiti seede kayit yi nga xam ne moo wiral sa ëy na ne yow bugga ngaa xaccoo siis bi mu ngi des nag ci loxo ay si ak mbooloo mi comme ni ñu ko waxee woon rek dañ bugg a mu lu leer bu ko defee danañ ko seetaat ko segg ko ba gis li nga xam ne mooy li olof di wax li ñuul si soow mi ñu seppi ko si buñ ko si seppee ne mu ànd ak soow mi boobaa yow bokkatoo bu fekkee ne nag mën nañ koo seppi te du ànd ak soow mi bokk nga kon foofu la ñu emale mbir ba beneen yoon incha allah
abarka bake Ablaye Cham wala ka diamo dinkraento temenna may amade fati aflente ala katulu sedal katulu nyeng ya jube a fe ko ya kanyamen dron wande ya dada nyamen kabren sibiti longo barbidon chaman banyen kale ko bitay sita el lamay fosibito to men na nyeng na menesuno kulbe su kum fa sale nga itan la fo satul be timman le fo mati fo me timman wala wa oto wala mena fale fo se lono fo de lono la bara may bitum o borin ko la nan jona sul fanan e ka cha so kale am nyu angale kan wala ko be de muy asula bi ya to bonne ka ke ka katul jube kala katul ta bara bi muy asula jona sula ne ga ku jama la wala kono wala nga kambe mo signé pro anen parti dole se kafno nyoma nyame bare may amade fati ako nyinkera ko kole mbalde karon lokum konondo be ka challa ka kul ka fanyo kan bare be mu ya sula wala kulum be kere banko kan karon la fananyin na jara ken dal banko la fananyin na fannin kala do kusur bale akulum ku de biet la fa su anyatel na mun wala sula oto biyaman tra kala diam la mu yala o fanna la mum be den anen politique patew dol temola bare biye a fansa simun na wala ma hammen kote nin carte fataay wolle fannalta mon jubela ay ko fujar do atle fana nata ke mola monti muy ko faro ke bino nasudo kola ay si la den krain to jamu yalon ko abe battle hiding highway jin kanjang bitum wala ndron no man kel dron se kol de sidi bala sa la fana ya fana bade fulole kol ta nyame surtout mo den may Ahmed fatila patula mo gamme moral congress ila nomination kulu tanya ay fekade
jarama bakari fati muslimbe gambia minen do independent electoral commission do nomination woni rek be daba be president yaji e godon subagol muyen ko parti yesojo on don parti GMC woni Ahmed may fati kam arnodo pour wadede nominé woni totirde kayti mum do dabirta president yaji leydi kam non o toti kayti mum di chairman bo independent electoral commission Ali Momar Ndiaye kam yo yimbe mum joni ni be punti be jehi ko toti ko kayti mum din non Ali Momar Ndiaye chairman o holi dum no wonde no kam non mo foti rek non totir register mum o woni voters card mum o te non o yamiri dum pour o wada try non o eto rek o adda on don haali aljuma o to kayti goddi di o addani on tuma non o chairman holi no stay tan be darnima kayti mun nyane aseto on to en ganya dum neta o timmini sartaji di nda o timmina pour wawa daro podgol sengo president yaji leydi ko pari ko non don on tuma o dayndi yewtude wadde tutobe kibaruji di be non be lamdima dum non ko tagi non mo dabba president yaji leydi he o holliri non kam en yamu yo hamme mum mo taki mo dabba president yaji leydi he o wi mo yidi rek non so tawi ganyima o addat bamtare gila rek e cellal yimbe he yo rek e danduru yimbe he yo rek e gurnam yimbe he yo rek e sengo gila lopitane je yo e sugabe yo rewe o haali ko heewi noon ko yiɗi ko wadde rek sara noon o gañima o wote président gaɗo lewrude bale emre nayi ɓe lamdima ɗum noon ngal ɗon konngol ngol ɓe ciino walla ngal ɗon kawral pour rek wadde coalition ko ata parti ji jeenayi rentude ɓe mbaɗa in parti goto ko andira coalition o wi ko yata e jonte jeenayi noon ɓe mbakta noon ɓe jewtida maɓɓe ɗin ɗon parti ji jeenayi kono ɓe dakkorani he konngol pour heyninde goto e muyen ina waɗa ko ɗon ɓe dañi caɗele pour poɗɗo heyno on ɗon coalition joni noon o wi kam hannde o arano pour mo leɓa affaire politique ko ari ko rek ko kam ko yiɗi reɓde woni rek tawi to gañoyima hoko yiɗi waɗan leydi ndi hoko ɓamtade no yiɗi addu he ɗon e leydi ɗo ko ɗum woni ko may Ahmed Fati haali o ko kam non woni hannde neɗɗo batindiɗo hannde ɗo arde tottirde kayti mum nomination ndi ko kam wonta hannde neɗɗo batandiɗo ha janngo tini so Allah jaɓi janngo e talata o ko ɗum wonɗo hewde ɗo IC komin musidɗo mon Siri Ba Bakary Fati Fatimata Thiam Jamme Abdoulaye Thiam e Noa Badji Haji Sumundu Noa bisimilla
mi jekkati e Abdoulaye Sidi Ba e mala sankiña wata yannu senolami ñatan tembe ña e nomination e jaat e bamban pour be kajom may Ahmed Farji Janya kasankana kola nane ko nominé bare ko yaya boy tawla folo tar jandi sibité ko ngolen kuisino mate ko non ngala paj pour mala ngon addu yo tu anosan ko yaboy tay ale ko seni manko ne e no maj woto kana kola ko juku nyaadi akila wana bi nyata nane nabi bi pour be bloc mo famiti Gambia abilut pour be e kango hoyno manji politique woto wona sanken tate ndum la tunu jama jam di kurima kana sanken tate bamban fereng tate jata ici office yami babe pisen haji sumbundu mun sarawra bere kajom sundeti jamit haji
no ari siri alaji no abaji mare mo woni higana sasa sinen kinya koyenga birambe ti lengi tenengen nomination nga sagarande be ganjiri na nya serebe ganjiri na antori jamane ke December na ton kota wadni kebe ga lagari ni kenya ni mai Ahmed Fati akende sarabi lagari ni serebe ga waraka ni ngot nanti kebe da akinga kai birambe sunan goli domen aga diga muno journalist undare ara ke ko nanti birambe hibe mana ngai kenni kay birambe tampe be ko tampe bi jamanindi ini jamane le mumbo ken no kondi bar lengi imali portiga e maka chekita pro e mata hakati kita pro polisin kachanda ata gaga be journalist no ngai ni e politin kachanga siri ati ay lengi nyake ya ngat nandi loya nyana kai loya ngala ni me hudu ne ngado kachanta nga bari ama kenki lekini ay journalist no lenki wadna ga nyirini adi mali dome la nomination card nunchu kini bari da tindi votos card nga ado ke mariam ngurai bari yorro juma tanga maka birambe nake chagandirini kata IC gol nyanka ke har samare mo kwanya lenki ki ngolunga birambe kumane mo daga jokkay birambe hibe kan sagarande nga nomination card nakiti hibe gantiri nan chigi aga qurana kota me nanti sere sudangani njigi ya idin mutwa kenni juman kota sibitin kota inshallah Allah kana koy kenno wonde watni farmata cham an der jokkide kollunga no wari.
Yes, Sumundo, thank you very much. Viewers and listeners, we've come to the very end of this edition of Nominations Watch. And just to give you a very brief synopsis of exactly what has happened here today, we've witnessed the withdrawal of their candidacy of two of the aspirants that have expressed will to take part in the December 4th presidential elections. They are Mr. Bibi Dabo, as well as the party leader for the APP, that's the All People's Party, Mr. Ali Gumbo Ture. So now, out of the 26 candidates that have expressed their intention to run for the December 4th presidential elections, 3 have so far toned down or withdrawn their candidacy, and we have 23. Now, before the end of the nominations, perhaps we would see more withdrawals because we understand all the parties have said they are open to coalition talks and alliances and whatnot. So we expect those figures to go down. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back here tomorrow, inshallah, for another edition of Nominations Watch. Until then, we'll hand you over to our studios on MDI Road as well as at Mile 7. Enjoy the rest of our programs and have a wonderful day.
If you want to receive monies from UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland, and the rest of the world, Supersonic's money transfer has got you covered. With the largest payout network in the Gambia, you can now receive your monies anywhere you are, from Kartong to Koina, with less hassle. Yes! You can receive monies from your family and friends in UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland, and the rest of the world with our safe, secure, fast, and convenient service that offers you the largest selection of payout locations in the Gambia. Supersonic's money transfer. We are currently in 34 African countries and counting, giving you quality money remittance services that are second to none. Visit the Google Play Store or the Apple Store today to download the Supersonics Money Transfer app and enjoy excellent money transfer services only with Supersonics.